How to fix a no atomizer message on your vape. An e-cig that says no atomizer or check atomizer is a message that no vaper wants to see. If this message is flashing up on your vape mod, it probably means that you cannot vape. Don't worry vapers, if you're here because your e-cig is currently giving you this message, follow our simple steps and we'll have you vaping again in no time. Try another vape tank or vape mod. We first need to find out if the problem lies within the vape tank or the mod. If you have them available, we need to try another tank and mod. This is the quickest method to determine where the problem lies. Remove your vape tank and pop it onto another vape mod. Is the different e-cig throwing up the same message? Then we absolutely know that the problem is within the tank or the coils. If a different vape mod doesn't show the message with your tank, then we need to narrow down if the problem is with the mod. Pop a different vape tank on the mod and see if it is showing the same message. If it is, then we know that your tank is fine and we need to take a closer look at your e-cig. If you don't have another tank or mod to hand, then just follow these next steps and we'll get that message fixed. Check your vape coil. Now let's start simple. The number one cause of a check atomizer message is your coil. Is your atomizer head screwed in? How old is your coil? Is it dead out the box? Let us go step by step to try and fix this problem. Is your atomizer head screwed in right? Take the base of your tank off. Take care if it is full of fluid and make sure you can remove the base without the tank leaking. If not, then decant the vape juice out of the tank first. Now, check that your coil is screwed into the base of the tank correctly. It has to be seated right inside the tank to make a proper connection to your vape mod. Unscrew the coil and screw it back in again, making sure it is fully screwed in and there is no cross threading. Now try the tank on your mod and see if this has solved the problem. How old is your vape coil? How long have you had your coil in your tank? All atomizer heads need to be replaced at some point. The time varies between days and weeks, depending on what power you use, what vape juice you use and the coil resistance. If your coil needs changing for a new one, it can cause this error. If you think it is time for a new one, try putting a new coil in your tank. Taking care to fully prime it before use. This should get rid of the check atomizer message. Is your coil dead on arrival? Rarely, some coils don't work straight out the box. If you've just installed a new coil and everything was working fine until this point, try taking it out and putting another one in. 510 connections on your e-cig. There are 2 points within your e-cig that have to meet properly and make a connection. This allows power to pass between your e-cig mod and your tank. If you take your tank off your mod and have a look at them, you will see the connections. On your mod there is a female connection with threads that you screw your tank into. At the bottom of this is a small plate of metal. On your vape tank there is a male connection with threads that you screw into your e-cig. Right at the end of this is another metal plate. Now these two sections on your e-cig are called your 510 connections. These two metal plates have to make a proper connection for your e-cig to work properly. This is where power passes through from your battery to your coil. Clean the 510 connection on your vape mod. If you have done the first test and another tank on your vape mod is showing the same message, this would indicate that the problem is with your e-cig battery or your mod. The chances are this is an easy fix. Now the first thing we need to do is clean the metal plate of your 510 connection. Over time, the connection on your e-cig can gather dust, dirt and e-liquid. If this is the case, then your mod can't make a complete connection to your vape tank. Remove your tank from your e-cig and have a look at the threads and metal plate to make sure there are no larger pieces of debris there. Then take a cotton bud or a piece of paper towel and press it gently into the hole on the top of your e-cig. Twist it round as you go and make sure that you've cleaned off the top of the metal plate. Once you've done this, have another look to make sure that there is no paper towel or cotton in there. Screw your tank back into your e-cig, make sure you don't over tighten this. If it still isn't working, then move on to the next step. Clean the 510 connection on your vape tank. So, we have cleaned the connection on your vape mod, now we need to look at the bottom of your vape tank. You should have already looked at the 510 connection earlier. You need to make sure that this is cleaner than any e-liquid or dust. Now take a piece of paper towel or tissue and gently wipe off the base plate of your tank. Don't press too hard and make sure that no tissue is left on the threads or the metal connection. Now, both 510 connections should be clean, and when you screw your vape tank back into your vape mod, the connection should be made and the message will disappear. If not, then move on to the next step. Check the 510 connection on your tank. Even though you've cleaned the 510 connection on your tank, there is a chance that it might need a little bit more love. If you have ever over tightened your tank onto your mod, it can push the metal plate from the 510 connection up into the tank. This usually means that it's sat flush with a rubber O-ring. If this is the case, then it won't make a full connection to your e-cig. While your tank is disconnected from the mod, look at the metal plate. Is it damaged in any way? If it doesn't look damaged, does it look like it's pushed up too far? If so, you need to gently try and manipulate the plate back into its normal position. Take care not to pull this out too far, or you can remove it entirely. Use your fingernails and try and pull the pin down 1 millimeter or 2. Then try it again on your mod. Check the 510 connection on your vape mod. Just like the 510 connection on your tank, the one on your mod can also suffer if your tank has been screwed on too tight. Most 510 pins on e-cigs are spring loaded, so they should naturally seat themselves back to the correct position. But they can sometimes get stuck if too much pressure has been applied. Take your tank off your mod and turn it off, or remove the battery. Then take something small, like a cocktail stick, and very gently press down on the pin. You should feel the spring underneath, and this can get it to pop back into the correct position. Try attaching your tank again and see if the message is gone. If not, and you believe that the pin on your e-cig is the problem, then don't try and do any more with your mod. Anything else you try and do can risk damaging the e-cig further and can risk voiding any warranty. Contact us. While getting any error message on your e-cig can be frustrating, remember the fix is usually easy. If after this guide you're still struggling, don't hesitate to leave us a comment, or we're more than happy to run through some further problem solving with you.